On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Humming.
Producing a continuous, low, vibrating sound like that of the bee.
Examples:
Humming sound. Hummingbird. The humming of the bees filled the air as she walked through the garden.
Fascination.
The state of being intensely interested in someone or something, or a powerful attraction.
Examples:
Wrapped in fascination. The fascination with classical music. I looked at the painting in fascination.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Chart.
A visual display of information such as a diagram, lists of figures, etc., a map designed to assist navigation by air or sea.
Examples:
A weather chart. A statistical chart. This pie chart represents our market share.
Influence.
The ability to affect someone's or something's character, growth, or behavior, or the effect itself.
Examples:
Influence a child's future. Influence the daily life. The former emperor had a particular influence even after he abdicated.
Transformation.
A complete change in form, nature, or appearance of someone or something.
Examples:
The transformation of a tadpole into a frog. Cast a transformation spell. Understanding unitary transformations of a normal matrix require considerable mathematical sophistication.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Layer.
A sheet, quantity, or thickness of the material, typically one of several, covering a surface or body, a level or part within a system or set of ideas.
Examples:
Layer cake. Layer of paint. The layer of frost on the ground was so thick it was difficult to walk on.
Vascular.
Of or relating to blood vessels, especially the veins and arteries that carry blood throughout the body.
Examples:
Vascular disease. Vascular surgery. The doctor detected a blockage in the patient's vascular system.
Incredible.
Unbelievable, extremely large.
Examples:
Incredible amount. At incredible speed. Her response revealed incredible idiocy.
Vessel.
A ship or large boat.
Examples:
Blood vessels. Naval vessels. The vessel arrived in port the following day.
Oxygen.
The chemical element with the symbol O that is present in air and water and is necessary for people, animals, and plants to live.
Examples:
The hydrogen binds the oxygen. Lack of oxygen. The passenger grabbed for the oxygen mask.
Lung.
Either of the two organs in the chest that people and some animals use for breathing.
Examples:
Lung capacity. Do lung transplantation. He has terminal lung cancer.
Pump.
To cause water, air, gas, etc. to move from one place to another by using mechanical equipment, to get or supply something such as money, information, etc. in significant quantities.
Examples:
Pump a secret out of success. Pump blood throughout the body. He was alert and could not pump any critical information out of him.
Organ.
A part of the body of an animal or plant that has a particular purpose and performs a specific job.
Examples:
Organ bleeding. Damage to internal organs. These infections have the potential to impact practically every organ system.
Fist.
A hand with the fingers clenched tightly into the palm to form a hard rounded shape, an act of striking someone or something with a fist.
Examples:
Tight fist. Raise a fist. The boxer clenched his fist before throwing a punch.
Slightly.
In a small degree or extent, a little.
Examples:
Increase slightly. Slightly alkaline soils. He moved his body slightly to the left.
Invasive.
Spreading very quickly, and often aggressively, and difficult to stop.
Examples:
Invasive breast cancer. Invasive species. The invasive disease can spread quickly and potentially cause a global pandemic.
Cerebellum.
The part of the brain at the back of the head that plays an important role in motor control, balance, and coordination.
Examples:
Cerebellum function. Development of cerebellum. An injury to the cerebellum can cause difficulty with walking, speaking, and maintaining posture.
Upright.
Perpendicular to a horizontal surface or line, adverb, in a vertical position.
Examples:
Upright posture. Sit upright in a chair. The bookcase was upright against the wall.
Standing.
Existing or remaining upright, having a vertical position, noun, social, financial, or professional status or reputation.
Examples:
Standing water. His social standing. The standing concert was packed with fans.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Coordinated.
Effectively arranged or organized so that all the parts work smoothly or systematically together.
Examples:
In a coordinated manner. Coordinated robot system. For greater efficiency, our efforts must be better coordinated.
Movement.
A group of people working together to achieve a shared goal, especially a political, social, or artistic one, the process of moving or being moved, physically or figuratively.
Examples:
A circular movement. Movement of troops. The movement of the dancers on stage was graceful and elegant.
Temporal.
Of or relating to time as opposed to eternity.
Examples:
A temporal restriction. Temporal history. The temporal nature of the universe is a subject of much debate among scientists.
Cortex.
The outermost layer of an organ, especially the brain.
Examples:
Cortex cells. Visual cortex neuron. The cerebral cortex consists of 6 layers.
Primary.
First or highest in rank, order, or importance, most fundamental or essential, pertaining to the initial or introductory stage of something, such as a school year or election cycle.
Examples:
Primary school. Primary education. The primary cause of the accident was due to the icy road conditions.
Auditory.
Of or relating to hearing or the ability to hear.
Examples:
A good auditory memory. Auditory system. The auditory nerve carries sound signals from the ear to the brain.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Complexity.
The state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
cognitive complexity, complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Decision:
the act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
decision authority, a selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Decision maker:
a person who makes important decisions, especially at a high level in an organization.
Examples:
policy decision maker, act as a decision maker. A wealth of information does not always have a positive impact on decision makers.
Decide:
to make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
decide a question, decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Probable:
likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
probable outcome, probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Steak:
a thin slice of meat, typically beef, grilled or fried and served as a main dish.
Examples:
steak dinner, salmon steak. He ordered a rare steak for dinner.
Cross-section:
a two-dimensional representation of a slice or portion of a three-dimensional object or structure, showing the internal arrangement and relationship of its parts, a sample or subset of a larger population or entity that allows insight into its characteristics or behavior.
Examples:
cross-section diagram, cross-section view. The cross-section of the tree trunk showed its growth rings.
Structure:
the way of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts, or a complex thing constructed of many parts.
Examples:
the structure of a machine, structure and function of the brain. The organizational structure of startups is often flat and straightforward.
Invention:
the creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples:
the invention of new techniques, common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Stain:
to discolor, defile, or tarnish something. Noun, a discoloration or dirty mark on a surface that is difficult to remove.
Examples:
stain the carpet, red wine stain. The allegations of corruption stained her reputation, and she struggled to regain public trust.
Neuron.
A cell that is specialized to carry information within the brain and between the brain and other parts of the body.
Examples:
Excite the neurons. Neuron cell body. Our body transfers information along each neuron using an electrical impulse.
Uniform.
Always the same, showing a single form or character in all occurrences. Noun, the special set of clothes worn by members of a particular group as a means of identification.
Examples:
At a uniform temperature. Our school uniform. This country has a nationally uniform culture.
Neocortex.
The part of the cerebral cortex that is responsible for higher brain functions such as conscious thought and decision-making.
Examples:
Stored in neocortex. Neocortex function. The cerebral neocortex is responsible for higher brain functions such as decision-making and problem-solving.
Continuous.
Occurring or existing without a pause or interruption.
Examples:
Continuous improvement. A continuous row of warehouses. The heavy snow has been continuous since last morning.
Underneath.
Under or below something else.
Examples:
Underneath the surface of the water. Underneath the laughter. The penny fell underneath the piano.
Blank.
Without any writing or printing, empty or devoid of ideas, information, or meaning, unable to remember or recall information.
Examples:
Blank expression. Blank paper. The computer screen displayed nothing but a blank white screen.
Dense.
Containing a large number of people or something with little space between them.
Examples:
Nutrient-dense foods. Dense forests. The entire mountain is covered in dense rainforest.
Distribute.
To give something to a large number of individuals, or to spread or furnish something.
Examples:
Distribute wealth evenly. Distribute video content. His estate was distributed to his sons.
Contribute.
To give something, especially money or goods, to provide or achieve something together with other people.
Examples:
Contribute a large sum of money to the fund. Contribute to society. Government workers cannot contribute to political campaigns.
Underlying.
Significant as a cause or basis of something, but not immediately apparent or stated clearly.
Examples:
An underlying motive. An underlying cause of an accident. The underlying principle of every business was identical.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples.
Function properly. Immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Mention.
To speak or write about something or someone briefly.
Examples.
Mention name. Mention in a report. I mentioned to him that I had seen his sister at the grocery store earlier that day.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples.
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Astrocytoma.
A type of brain tumor that develops from abnormal glial cells called astrocytes.
Examples.
Astrocytoma tumor. High-grade astrocytoma. The symptoms of an astrocytoma can include headaches, seizures, and problems with balance or coordination.
Glia.
A type of brain cell that supports and insulates neurons, provides nutrients to them, and helps to regulate their activity.
Examples.
Neuroglia. Glia function. The human brain contains both neurons and glia cells.
Nervous.
Worried and anxious about something, relating to the nerves.
Examples.
Development of the nervous system. Get nervous. He suffers from nervous breakdowns.
Synapse.
The fact or state of failing to finish an activity and of stopping using, making, or doing it.
Examples.
Synapse circuit. And at a synapse. Animals transmit nerve impulses through synapses.
Largely.
Virtually entirely, to a large degree.
Examples.
Largely accepted. Largely mitigate the issue. Nevada is largely a desert state.
Unique.
Being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else.
Examples.
A unique teacher. Unique design. The painting is unique, and there is no other like it.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples.
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Biochemical.
Relating to the chemical processes and substances that occur within living organisms.
Examples:
Biochemical reaction. Complex biochemical. Biochemical research is essential to understanding the complex chemical reactions in living organisms.
Protein.
A molecule made up of a long chain of amino acids, which is essential for the structure and function of the body's tissues.
Examples:
Stress protein. Protein synthesis. The body needs a certain amount of protein to build and repair tissues.
Ion.
An atom or molecule that has a positive or negative electrical charge caused by its losing or gained one or more electrons.
Examples:
Ion channel. Rechargeable lithium-ion battery. The increased concentration of hydrogen ions in an aqueous solution makes it more acidic.
Zoom.
To move along very quickly. Noun, the act of rising upward into the air.
Examples:
Zoom in on a photo. Zoom lens. He zoomed back in time to the soccer game.
Encode.
To convert information into a code or format suitable for storage or transmission.
Examples:
Encode data. Encode information. The software can encode and decode encrypted messages.
Genome.
The complete set or sequence of genes of a human, animal, plant, or other living things.
Examples:
Sequencing of the human genome. Genome analyses. The human genome contains approximately 3 billion chemical base pairs.
Chromosome.
A long and string-like DNA molecule containing the part or all of the genetic material of an organism that controls what an animal or plant is like.
Examples:
A sex chromosome. The end of chromosome. Human females normally have 2 X chromosomes.
Roughly.
Approximately, but not precisely, with a violent manner.
Examples:
Roughly explain my idea. Roughly speaking. 5 miles is roughly similar to 8 kilometers.
Gene.
The fundamental unit of heredity and the sequence of nucleotides in DNA that codes for the creation of RNA or protein.
Examples:
Gene expression. Gene cloning. A defective gene is responsible for the disease.
Dictate.
To state or give order with total authority, to say or read aloud for somebody else to write down or to be recorded.
Examples:
Dictate a letter to secretary. Dictate to the associate. The Allies dictated the terms of surrender to the country.
Readout.
A display of information or data, often in numerical or digital form, that provides a readout of measurements, quantities, or other aspects of a process or system.
Examples:
Readout display. Temperature readout. The machine provided a digital readout of my heart rate and oxygen levels.
Undertake.
To do or begin to do something, such as an enterprise or responsibility.
Examples:
Undertake an enterprise. Undertake routine duties. Young people in this country should undertake military duties.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
Obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples:
Lab instrument. Medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Technique.
A particular way or art of doing something that needs skill.
Examples:
A technique in martial arts. The technique applied to construction. Jockey's superior technique brought him victory.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Examine.
To study or consider a person or object attentively and thoroughly to learn something about them.
Examples:
Examine the data studiously. Examine the issue. Initially, we must examine all project-related expenses.
Criteria.
Plural of criterion, standards, or conditions by which something may be judged or decided.
Examples:
Criteria for action. Consistency criteria. He didn't meet all the criteria, but he was hired anyway.
Injury.
Harm done to a person's or an animal's body caused by an accident or an attack.
Examples:
Without injury. A fatal injury. My accidental injury got better right away.
Psychiatric.
Of or relating to the treatment or study of mental illness or disorders.
Examples:
People with psychiatric disorders. Psychiatric hospital. The psychiatric evaluation revealed that the patient had been suffering from anxiety.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
Disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Toxicology.
The study of poisonous substances and their effects on organisms, including humans.
Examples:
Molecular toxicology. Forensic toxicology. The toxicology report showed that the victim had high levels of poison in their system.
Workup.
A thorough examination, analysis, or assessment of a patient's medical condition or a situation, typically involving various diagnostic procedures, tests, or investigations, a comprehensive evaluation or preparation.
Examples:
Psychological workup. Workup procedure. After finishing the experiment, we conducted a thorough workup to analyze the results.
Tissue.
An ensemble of similar cells of the animal or plant that together carry out a specific function.
Examples:
A facial tissue. Loss of muscle tissue. The researcher separated the nervous tissue for microscopic examinations.
Consent.
Permission or agreement to do something, especially given by somebody in authority.
Examples:
Consent for surgery. Give silent consent. She gave her consent to the company's proposal.
Labile.
Easily or readily undergoing change, instability, or varying states, having a tendency to be unstable or changeable.
Examples:
Label emotions. Label blood pressure. The label compound must be kept at a specific temperature to maintain stability.
Accidental.
Happening or existing by chance or unintentionally.
Examples:
Accidental death. Cover accidental damage. This system prevents accidental deletion of data.
Prime.
Main or most important, basic, prime number, noun, a natural number greater than one that cannot be formed by multiplying two smaller natural numbers. Example: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and 13.
Examples:
Prime number. Deputy Prime Minister. After a thorough investigation, she has been named as the prime suspect.
Significance.
The importance or value attached to something. The quality of being significant or noteworthy.
Examples:
Significance level. Mystical significance. The significance of his discovery cannot be overstated.
Spouse.
A person's husband, wife, or partner in marriage.
Examples:
Spouse tax deduction. Spouse visa. The spouse of the politician was a constant presence at campaign events.
Magnetic.
Having the properties of attracting or repelling certain materials containing iron or steel.
Examples:
Magnetic field. A magnetic tape. The magnetic force of the Earth keeps our planet spinning.
Resonance.
A deep, full, or reverberating sound or tone, a quality or feeling of a particular emotional or mental vibration or significance, a mutual or sympathetic connection or correspondence between two things.
Examples:
Resonance frequency. Harmonic resonance. The singer's voice filled the auditorium with beautiful resonance.
Template.
A pre-designed file or document used as a starting point for a particular application so that the format does not have to be created from scratch.
Examples:
Template file. Template design. The template format provided a useful guide for creating the budget.
Satellite.
An electronic device that is sent up into space and moves around the Earth or another planet, used for gathering information or communicating by radio, television, etc.
Examples:
A GPS satellite. A meteorological satellite. Launching an artificial satellite contributed to the technological development of our country.
Diffusion.
A spreading motion in multiple directions.
Examples:
The diffusion of knowledge. Diffusion of lightning. Due to the diffusion of television and video, cinema theaters had a small audience.
Tensor.
Of anatomy, a muscle that causes a part of the body to become tense or tight, thereby exerting a pulling or stretching force. Of physics, a mathematical object or vector that describes the direction and intensity of a physical force or quantity in a multidimensional space.
Examples:
Tensor fasciae lati. Tensor calculus. The tensor muscle helps in controlling the movement of the vocal cords.
Cable.
A set of wires covered by plastic or rubber that carries electricity, phone signals, etc. A solid thick rope made of twisted hemp or steel wire.
Examples:
Cable television. Coaxial cable. This system uses submarine cables to exchange information between continents.
Interstate.
Between or involving different states equals the territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation.
Examples:
Interstate disputes. Interstate travel. The interstate highway connects the major cities of the state.
Highway.
A main road, especially one connecting major towns or cities.
Examples:
Highway system. An interstate highway. I'm going to take the highway to get to my destination faster.
Skull.
A bone framework that surrounds the brain and gives the head its shape.
Examples:
Skull fracture. Have a thick skull. Archaeologists found a Neanderthal skull at that historic site.
Slice.
A flat, often thin, piece of bread, meat, cheese, etc., that has been cut from a larger piece, a wound made by cutting.
Examples:
A slice of the company's revenue. Slice a tomato thin. The children complained because one slice of cake was slightly larger than the other.
Centimeter.
A unit of measurement of length in the metric system, equivalent to 1/100th of a meter.
Examples:
Centimeter measurement. 30 centimeters tall. The room was only 1 centimeter wider than the piano, making it a tight fit.
Solid.
Hard or firm, characterized by good substantial quality.
Examples:
Solid ally. Solid employment measures. The solid state of water is called ice.
Hemisphere.
Half of the terrestrial globe, half of a sphere.
Examples:
Northern hemisphere. Cerebral hemisphere. This weather pattern is unique to the southern hemisphere.
Glorify.
To praise or honor something or someone, often in an exaggerated or overly positive way. To elevate or exalt something or someone to a higher status or position.
Examples:
Glorify God. Glorify violence. Religious leaders often glorify their messengers to encourage people to follow their teachings.
Blade.
The flat part of a knife, weapon, or machine with a very thin edge used for cutting.
Examples:
A blade of grass. The blade of a turbine. The blade of the katana itself is still in excellent condition.
Sect.
A group of people who follow a particular religious or philosophical belief system, especially one that is regarded as outside the norm or mainstream.
Examples:
Sect beliefs. Secret sect. The minority sect believed in a set of unconventional religious practices.
Transfer.
To move, pass, or change from one person, place, or situation to another.
Examples:
Transfer a file. Transfer power. She transferred the money from her savings account to her checking account.
Microscope.
An instrument used to see objects or substances that are too small to be seen with the naked eye.
Examples:
Microscope slide. Electron microscope. I used an optical microscope to observe the small organisms in the water sample.
Slide.
To move or cause to move smoothly along a surface without interruption.
Examples:
Slide a card across the table. Slide a glance. If necessary, you can slide the front seats forward.
Scan.
To examine something hastily, with the eyes or with a machine, to get information.
Examples:
Scan the face of a man. Scan a document into PDF. She stood on the podium and scanned an audience.
Anatomy.
The scientific study that deals with the physical structure of humans, animals, or plants.
Examples:
Animal anatomy. Anatomy of a country's collapse. The professor explained the anatomy of the nervous system.
Assignment.
A duty or task given to someone, usually as part of their job or studies.
Examples:
Finish the assignment. Assignment of interest. My assignment was overwhelming and complicated, but it was also exciting.
Boundary.
A real or imaginary line that marks the limit or extent of something and separates it from other things or places.
Examples:
Geographical boundary. The boundary between reality and fantasy. He wandered the boundary between life and death by gunfire.
Broad.
Very wide, general.
Examples:
Attract broad attention. A broad mind. He accumulated wealth across a broad spectrum of assets.
Outline.
To describe the main facts or aspects involved in something.
Examples:
Outline the plan. Outline the findings. This page outlines our response planning for an emergency. Fragment. A small piece or part broken off or detached.
Examples:
Fragment of a text. A broken fragment. The archaeologist carefully pieced together the tiny fragments of pottery found at the dig site. Cryogenic. Relating to the production, use, or storage of materials at very low temperatures, often below -150 degrees Celsius.
Examples:
Cryogenic freezing. Cryogenic apparatus. The cryogenic storage tank kept the samples at -196 °C to preserve them.
Micron.
A unit of measurement equal to 1/1,000,000th of a meter, used for measuring the size of particles and microorganisms.
Examples:
Micron measurements. Micron imaging. The width of a single human hair is around 100 microns.
Old-fashioned.
Of or relating to a time in the past, not modern.
Examples:
An old-fashioned person. Old-fashioned in appearance. My father is old-fashioned in his thinking.
Paintbrush.
A tool used for applying paint or other liquid substances to a surface, typically consisting of bristles or synthetic fibers attached to a handle.
Examples:
Paintbrush stroke. Paintbrush icon. She used a flat paintbrush to apply the final touches to the artwork.
Applied.
Of or relating to a subject of study, especially a science, that is used in a practical way.
Examples:
Applied research. Applied physics. Military technology eventually became the foundation for applied technology that supported people's lives.
Melt.
To turn from something solid into something soft or liquid as a result of heating.
Examples:
Melt the ice. Melt down gold. Her resistance melted under his persuasion.
Configuration.
The arrangement or pattern of something or a group of related things.
Examples:
Configuration of the system. Engine configuration. The configuration of molecules in steel changes significantly with temperature.
Cluster.
A group of similar things or people close together, often forming a distinct mass or unit.
Examples:
Live in a cluster. A cluster of stars. A cluster of grapes hung from the vine.
Routine.
A usual or habitual way of doing things, a set sequence of steps, part of a larger computer program.
Examples:
Routine business. A built-in diagnostic routine. She studies gardening on a routine basis.
Refer.
To direct someone's attention, thoughts, or questions to another source or person, to mention, cite, or allude to something as evidence or support.
Examples:
Refer to a book. Refer to a map. Please refer to the instruction manual for further assistance.
Atlas.
A book of maps or charts, a figure in Greek mythology who bore the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Examples:
Atlas map. Atlas of anatomy. The World Atlas showed me the locations of all the countries.
Laser.
A device that emits powerful and narrow light that can be used as a tool to cut metal through a process of optical amplification.
Examples:
Laser printer. Pulse laser. The company holds patents on core components of laser jet printers.
Dissection.
The act or process of cutting up or dividing something to examine it.
Examples:
Dissection process. Dissection specimen. The dissection of the frog revealed its internal anatomy.
Instruction.
Detailed direction, order, etc., on how to do or use something.
Examples:
Individual instruction. Follow his instructions. They needed further instruction to perform their duties efficiently.
Scribe.
A person who writes out copies of documents or manuscripts, especially in ancient times.
Examples:
Scribe in ancient Egypt. Financial scribe. The scribe's skills were in high demand in medieval times, when many people were illiterate.
Dot.
A very small circular mark, especially one that is printed.
Examples:
Connecting the dots. Dot blot method. The wallpaper had a pattern of pink dots on a white surface.
Container.
A receptacle or object used to hold, store, or transport something. A large standardized metal box that is used for transporting goods by sea or land.
Examples:
Plastic container. Container ship. The restaurant uses large containers to store its food ingredients.
Purify.
To remove harmful substances from something and increase the concentration of it.
Examples:
Purify hydrogen gas. Purify the blood. The equipment is frequently used to purify and distribute drinking water.
Efflorescent.
Relating to the process of flowering or blooming, characterized by the formation of a powdery or crystalline deposit on the surface of a material due to the evaporation of water or other solvents.
Examples:
Efflorescent crystals. Efflorescent growth. The artist's efflorescent paintings were featured in the gallery's exhibition.
Array.
A large group or collection of things or people, especially one that is impressive or attractive.
Examples:
A two-dimensional array. An array of troops. The customer on the internet has to choose one from a formidable array of products.
Bunch.
A grouping of several similar things which are growing or fastened together.
Examples:
A bunch of trees. A bunch of schoolgirls. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Spot.
A particular location or place, a small round or roundish area, differing in color or feels from the surface around it.
Examples:
Beauty spot. A spot on his honor. This remote spot is rarely visited.
Element.
A fundamental or essential part of something.
Examples:
New design elements. Non-metallic elements. Natural selection is an essential element in Darwin's theory of evolution.
Repeatedly.
Again and again, many times.
Examples:
Use cell phone repeatedly. Repeatedly nod. He claims that his legitimate requests were repeatedly ignored.
Hybrid.
Composed of different elements or mixed characters.
Examples:
New hybrid system. An interspecific hybrid. The mule is a hybrid between a male donkey and a female horse.
Fingerprint.
A unique pattern of ridges and valleys on the surface of a finger that can be used to identify a person.
Examples:
Fingerprint at a crime scene. Fingerprint identification. The police used a fingerprint scanner to identify the suspect.
Quantitative.
Relating to, measuring, or expressing in terms of quantity, involving numerical or statistical data.
Examples:
Quantitative tightening. Quantitative analysis. The quantitative research provided statistical evidence to support the hypothesis.
Hippocampus.
A major component of the brain of humans and other vertebrates that is part of the limbic system and is vital for memory.
Examples:
Involvement of the hippocampus. Neurons in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is crucial for learning and memory storage.
Measurement.
The act or process of finding something's size, quantity, or degree.
Examples:
Chest measurement. A precise measurement. The measurement error of this industrial machine is less than 1 micrometer.
Synthesis.
The combination of components or elements to form a more complex whole. The creation of something new through combining parts or elements.
Examples:
Synthesis of ammonia. Protein synthesis inhibitor. The chemical synthesis of the new drug was a breakthrough in medical research.
Multimodal.
Involving or using several ways of communication or expression.
Examples:
multimodal input device, multimodal approach. The multimodal transportation system included trains, buses, and bikes.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
recognize talent, recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Framework.
The structural components of a building or object that support its weight and give it form, the underlying structure of a system, concept, or text.
Examples:
legal framework, the framework of a house. He devised a new analytical framework to capture the phenomenon.
Operator.
A person who uses and controls machinery or equipment, a mathematical symbol used to perform calculations.
Examples:
operator error, an elevator operator. The operator of the machine must follow strict safety protocols.
Highlight.
To make something prominent, mainly so that people give it more attention.
Examples:
highlight a string in red. Highlight an important difference. The introduction highlighted the speaker's distinguished career as a consultant.
Degree.
A unit of measurement for angles, temperature, or level of proficiency or achievement, a rank or level of academic or professional attainment.
Examples:
bachelor's degree, degree centigrade. She received her degree in psychology from the university.
Assay.
To analyze or test a substance for its chemical composition or its quantity, to attempt or try something.
Examples:
assay the sample, assay the protein. Scientists must assay the chemical properties of the new drug before using it on humans.
Prescribe.
Of a doctor, to advise and order the use of particular medicine or treatment for someone, especially in writing, to issue commands or orders for something.
Examples:
prescribe a drug. Prescribe in the preceding paragraph. Federal bankruptcy laws prescribe the reorganization process.
Antidepressant.
Any of a class of drugs used to reduce feelings of sadness and worry.
Examples:
an antidepressant drug. Antidepressant effect. She's been taking antidepressants since her baby died.
Bind.
To tie or fasten someone or something tightly with rope, string, etc., so that they cannot move or are held together strongly.
Examples:
bind the man's hands. Bind old letters into a bundle. The company's rules bind the employees' working hours.
Confirmation.
A statement, often written, that shows that something is true, correct, or definite.
Examples:
Confirmation of purchase. Confirmation bias. The confirmation of his appointment as CEO was met with mixed reactions.
Serotonin.
A neurotransmitter equals a chemical that carries nerve impulses involved in, example, sleep, emotion, and memory.
Examples:
Serotonin drug. Serotonin levels. The medicine works by boosting serotonin levels in the brain.
Affected.
Influenced, feeling or showing emotion, especially exaggerated emotion, not natural or sincere.
Examples:
Affected way of walking. The affected part. Her affected accent made it difficult to take her seriously.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Optimize.
To make the best or most effective use of something.
Examples:
Optimize a process. Optimize control for cooling. The essence of economics is to optimize the allocation of limited resources.
Association.
A people or groups of people who have joined in a single organization together for a particular purpose, a social or business connection or relationship.
Examples:
Word associations. A scholarship association. His membership in the association provided him with numerous benefits.
Routinely.
On a regular or habitual basis, in a manner that is customary or expected.
Examples:
Routinely check. Routinely scheduled maintenance. They routinely conduct fire drills to ensure everyone in the building knows what to do in an emergency.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples:
Analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Population.
The total number of people in a country, region, or location.
Examples:
Population change. Labor population. In just 4 years, the population has doubled.
Causal.
Relating to or indicating a cause or the relationship between causes and effects, resulting from a cause.
Examples:
Causal chain. Causal effect. The study aimed to establish a causal relationship between smoking and lung cancer.
Clue.
An object, a piece of evidence, or some information that helps someone to find the answer to a problem, question, or mystery.
Examples.
A clue about the crime. A clue to the diagnosis. The police couldn't find a clue to her whereabouts.
Pathway.
A track that constitutes or serves as a path, an approach, or a way of doing something.
Examples.
Pathway to understanding. Cellular signaling pathways. When the first molecule in the pathway receives a signal, it activates other molecules.
Importance.
The quality of being important and worthy of note.
Examples.
A man of importance. High importance. I stopped by the branch though I have no business of importance.
Individuality.
The qualities or characters that distinguish a particular person or thing from others of the same kind.
Examples.
Your individuality. Emphasize individuality. He has a strong sense of individuality.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples.
Have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Background.
The details of a person's social heritage, such as family, vocational or educational experience, past information that is essential to understanding a situation or problem.
Examples.
A background color. A criminal background. The company's hiring criteria emphasize personality, not a person's background.
Separate.
To force, take, or pull apart, mark as different.
Examples.
Separate video into chapter. Separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Correspondence.
The letters, emails, etc., especially official or business ones, the quality or state of being the same in amount, number, status.
Examples.
A business correspondence. One-to-one correspondence. The results of the two experiments were in correspondence.
Cut off.
A point or level beyond which something will not be tolerated or allowed, the act of stopping or interrupting the supply of something.
Examples.
Cutoff frequency. A cutoff point. The cutoff date for submitting applications was fast approaching.
Correlate.
To have a connection or relationship in which one thing affects or depends on another.
Examples:
correlate closely with the quality. Correlate to the size. We may frequently correlate age with the frequency of disease.
Subtle.
Not readily apparent or visible.
Examples:
subtle changes. A subtle poison. The room was painted in a subtle pink hue.
Celebrate.
To acknowledge a memorable or good day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity.
Examples:
celebrate his election. Celebrate Christmas. He celebrated the 10th anniversary of his tenure.
Differ.
To be not like someone or something in some way.
Examples:
differ from the majority. Differ according to species. The two products differed in their quality and price.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Cue.
A signal, gesture, or action that provides information or direction for someone else to act or respond, a reminder or prompt for someone to do something.
Examples:
cue card. Visual cue. The director gave the actor a cue to begin the scene.
Delete.
To remove something, especially that has been written, to wipe out digitally or magnetically recorded information.
Examples:
delete a file. Delete this modification. Highlight the sentences that you want to delete.
Schizophrenia.
A severe mental disorder in which a person has a distorted view of reality and may experience hallucinations, delusions, and disordered thinking and behavior.
Examples:
schizophrenia spectrum disorder. Schizophrenia treatment. The schizophrenia patient was experiencing severe auditory hallucinations.
Variation.
The act or state of changing, a difference or change in the way something is done, made, or said.
Examples:
variation of temperature. Gene variation. There is a lot of variation in the colors of flowers in the garden.
Donor.
A person or an organization that makes a gift of money, food, supplies, etc. to a cause or fund. In medicine, a person who gives blood or tissue or an organ to be used in another person.
Examples:
a transfusion of donor blood. An unnamed donor. His body rejected the liver of the donor.
Exception.
Something that is not included in a general rule or pattern, a person or thing that is excluded or stands apart from others.
Examples.
Make an exception. Without exception. She was the exception to the rule, as she managed to graduate college in only 2 years.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples.
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Subset.
A set of things that are contained within another larger set, a portion or division of a group or category.
Examples.
Proper subset. Subset selection. A subset of the employees will be trained in the new software program.
Purple.
Of a color intermediate between red and blue.
Examples.
Deep purple. Purple sweet potatoes. The plant has a stunning purple blossom.
Precipitate.
To cause something to happen suddenly or unexpectedly, to cause a solid substance to form from a dissolved liquid or gas by means of a chemical reaction or physical process.
Examples.
Precipitate a reaction. Precipitate a global energy crisis. The sudden rainstorm will precipitate flooding in low-lying areas.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly or extremely.
Examples.
Incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Handle.
To deal with a situation, problem, or strong emotion.
Examples.
Handle a precious object. Handled the incident. We all should learn how to handle stress.
Handful.
A small quantity or number, usually referring to the amount that can be held in one hand, a person or thing that is difficult to control or manage.
Examples.
Literal handful. Just a handful of participants. She only had a handful of pens left in her bag.
Unexplored.
Not yet examined, investigated, or studied, lacking in knowledge or information, unknown or undiscovered.
Examples.
Unexplored ideas. Unexplored cave. There are many unexplored regions of the ocean that scientists hope to study soon.
Undiscovered.
Not yet found or known.
Examples.
Undiscovered territory. Undiscovered potential. The jungle is full of undiscovered species waiting to be found.
Continent.
One of the Earth's large landmasses. Adjective, abstaining from your feelings, especially your desire to have sex.
Examples:
The inland of a continent. Continent urinary diversion. Flight across the continent was a daring adventure in its day.
Frontier.
A border that separates two countries, or the area near this line.
Examples:
Frontier disputes. The Italian frontier with Switzerland. He worked at the frontier of behavioral economics.
Daunt.
To intimidate or discourage someone, often by making them feel afraid or uncertain, to lessen someone's courage, enthusiasm, or spirit.
Examples:
Daunt the enemy. Daunt his courage. The idea of skydiving can be daunting to some people.
Humble.
Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's quality or importance.
Examples:
A humble cottage. Humble opinion. The nobler, the more humble.
Await.
To wait or stay ready for something. To expect or anticipate something.
Examples:
Await the arrival. Await your reply. We await the results of the election with anticipation.